It has been a long time since my last grab bag video. There's a few reasons for this. First is the series was always intended to be a dumping ground for video that I maybe didn't get exactly how I wanted. Maybe I went to go see several trains and I only got one, or whatever. Either way, that hasn't happened for a while, so there hasn't really been any content for it. It's hard to make a video when you have no video to put into it. Also, in the last one, I told you the name of the video series was changing to eliminate confusion with the virtual railfan series of the same name. I didn't really get any suggestions. Well, no good ones anyway. So I had to try and come up with something. I wanted something that represented bringing several unrelated things together. I thought about railfan potpourri, but that was kind of stupid. Then I thought about manifest movies, but especially to outsiders that may be unclear and confusing, and it's also kind of stupid. So we're settling with the slightly modified and admittedly boring mixed bag. Deal with it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Over Memorial Day weekend, I took a trip up to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and I did make some decent catches there, but there really was no good place to film where the camera could see over the fence, so I didn't get any video. On the way back, though, we took US 61, which runs right along the CPKC River Sub through Minnesota. I didn't really have a certain target in mind, but if I heard something on the radio, we'd hit a pull-off and try and get it. I also have access to ATCS Monitor, and the River Sub has very good server coverage. Sure enough, around Lake City I checked ATCS and saw something had a signal and was right around there. Turns out it was a CPKC 260 that got hit by the nearby hotbox detector. Someone in St. Paul, I believe, adjusted one of the brakes on the second locomotive wrong and it was dragging, so it tripped the detector. They fixed it, but it needed to get out of the way of Amtrak 8, who was about 15 miles behind. The next available sighting is Midland, and that's where they'll go in the hole. 260 used to be a St. Paul to Kansas City train, but it was reportedly extended to Shreveport, Louisiana following the merger. I'm not actually sure if it's really running that far yet, but either way, here comes 260, past milepost 349 in a very big hurry. Fast forward a few weeks. Since I was a kid, the village of Franklin Park has done railroad days and acknowledged their history with the railroad. Historically, the railroads have brought in a lineup of equipment to view and climb up in, plus because it's Franklin Park, you'll get all the trains that normally roll by. It has been combined with other festivals into the singular Franklin Park Fest, but Saturday of the weekend is still Railroad Day. There's one unit here of particular interest to me, and you'll see which one I mean. As I arrive, I see over at Franklin Park West that there's a clear on one main, likely for a Metra, and a restricting on 3 for something to go into the yard. The freight turned out to be YPRCP, which got in about the same time as outbound 2708. Note that I was juggling both a still camera and the GoPro, so this video won't be super great. I decided I didn't need to stand there for the whole thing, so I started walking towards the displays. CPKC also had their little rideable train, which had a pretty healthy line for it. There were locomotives from CP, KCSM, NS, BNSF, UP, a private car, 2 Metra coaches, and one of Metra's new SD70s that I got this picture, and that was about all I remember to get. Most locomotives were set up that you walk through all of them in a row, which, man, that was a workout with all those stairs and narrow passageways. As we checked out the festival portion of the show, I heard the B12 operator telling a train to make some noise coming through, which told me that there was a train coming.
Yeah, when you get down towards Edgington and Cal Wagner, just make some noise. They got a little event thing going on 4 Main. Over. Copy that. We'll make some noise coming through there. Over.
As I walked back to the 25th Street crossing, I saw that there were signals in both directions. 2 Main was a clear for an eastbound, 3 lead was another restricting into the yard. First up was eastbound CPKC 248, St. Paul to Clearing Yard priority manifest. It has come off the Bryn Mawr cutoff where it recrewed. Again, juggling 2 cameras here. After 248 gets by, I decided to switch from my GoPro to my actual video camera for the other train, but it turned out I didn't have enough time to set the tripod up. This meant the car hood got to be the tripod. This was NS-17V, manifest from Elkhart, Indiana. At one point, for some reason, I thought hand-holding the camera was a good idea, and it was not. Rather than set everything up for an absolutely crawling manifest, I decided to head out. It was getting hot, and I decided to go grab some lunch and head home. Although, on the way home, I did make a quick stop at America's Best Train Toy and Hobby Store in Itasca. If you're a model railroader and you need something, chances are they have it. I longingly eyed the Amtrak Siemens Charger N-Gauge starter kit, but decided I could make better use of that money. But I definitely recommend stopping in there if you're driving along the Elgin sub or otherwise in the area. And with that, this grab mixed bag video is in the books. You can follow me on Instagram and read the blog, which I may actually write something for sometime soon. We'll see. Either way, I'm Tyler, and thank you as always for watching the Northeastern Illinois Railfan YouTube channel.